In the past, sleep was often ignored by doctors and surrounded by myths. Now, we are beginning to understand the importance of sleep to overall health and well-being. We've learned, for example, that when people get less than 6 to 7 hours of sleep each night, they are at a greater risk of developing diseases. All the more reason to get some sleep, right? Here are 10 reasons why you should call it an early night. Number 1. Sleep keeps your heart healthy. Heart attacks and strokes are more likely to occur during the early morning hours, which may be due to the way sleep interacts with the blood vessels. Lack of sleep has been associated with worsening of blood pressure and cholesterol, which are risk factors for heart disease and stroke. Your heart will be healthier if you get between 7 and 9 hours of sleep each night. Number 2. Sleep may help prevent cancer. Did you know that people who work the late shift have a higher risk of developing breast and colon cancer? Researchers believe light exposure reduces melatonin levels. Melatonin, a hormone that regulates the sleep-wake cycle, is thought to protect against cancer as it appears to suppress the growth of tumors. Be sure that your bedroom is dark and avoid using electronics before bed in order to help your body produce the melatonin it needs. Number 3. Sleep reduces stress. When your body is sleep efficient, it goes into a state of stress. The body's functions are put on high alert, which causes high blood pressure and the production of stress hormones. High blood pressure increases the risk for heart attack and stroke, and the stress hormones make it harder to fall asleep. Number 4. Sleep reduces inflammation. Increased stress hormones caused by lack of sleep raises the level of inflammation in your body. This creates a greater risk for heart-related conditions as well as cancer and diabetes. Inflammation is thought to cause the body to deteriorate as we age. Number 5. Sleep makes you more alert. A good night's sleep makes you feel energized and alert the next day. Being engaged and active not only feels great, but increases your chances for another good night's sleep. When you wake up feeling refreshed, use that energy to get out in the daylight, do active things, and be engaged with your world. You'll sleep better the next night and increase your daily energy level. Number 6. Sleep improves your memory. Researchers do not fully understand why we sleep and dream, but they have found that sleep plays an important role in a process called memory consolidation. During sleep, your body may be resting, but your brain is busy processing your day, making connections between events, sensory input, feelings, and memories. Deep sleep is a very important time for your brain to make memories and links, and getting more quality sleep will help you remember and process things better. Number 7. Sleep may help you lose weight. Researchers have found that people who sleep fewer hours per night are more likely to be overweight or obese. It is thought that a lack of sleep impacts the balance of hormones in the body that affect appetite. The hormones ghrelin and leptin, which regulate appetite, have found to be disrupted by lack of sleep. If you want to maintain or lose weight, don't forget that getting adequate sleep on a regular basis is a huge part of the equation. Number 8. Napping makes you smarter. Nighttime isn't the only time to catch ZZZs. Napping during the day is an effective, refreshing alternative to caffeine that is good for your overall health and can make you more productive. In one study, people who did not nap or took naps shorter than 1 hour experienced mental decreases 4 to 6 times greater than those that napped at least an hour. People who nap at work show much lower levels of stress, and napping also improves memory, cognitive function, and mood. Number 9. Sleep may reduce risk of depression. Sleep impacts many of the chemicals in your body, including serotonin. People with serotonin deficiencies are more likely to suffer from depression. You can help to prevent depression by making sure you are getting the right amount of sleep, which is between 7 and 9 hours each night. Number 10. Sleep helps the body repair itself. Sleep is a time to relax, but it's also a time during which the body is hard at work repairing damage caused by stress, ultraviolet rays, and other harmful exposure. Your cells produce more protein when you are sleeping. These protein molecules form the building blocks for cells, allowing them to repair the damage. How well would you say you sleep? Do you think that your sleep habits are good? Are you getting enough sleep? Many times, work and the rest of your daily activities make you skip or reduce the number of hours you sleep. Nowadays, this seems to be the most normal thing in the world. After all, many people think it's okay and necessary. However, do you know the consequences of not getting sufficient rest? Most people forget that sleeping is as important as eating and staying hydrated. These are the consequences of not getting enough sleep. High levels of anxiety. When you sleep, your body repairs itself. It also gets rid of muscle tension caused by the stress of the day. Because of this, one of the consequences of not getting sufficient rest is that stress builds up and multiplies. This makes it more difficult to face the next day's challenges. The connection between your body and mind is very intense. If you don't get rid of stress through adequate rest, it shows up as anxiety. Anxiety can also be caused by the chronic release of adrenaline. This is a common occurrence if you don't rest enough every night. As a result, always try to sleep well and for several hours at night. Depression. Another one of the consequences of not getting sufficient amounts of rest is depression. This is because lack of sleep interferes with your neurotransmitters. In this case, it can steer you towards a reduction of synapses between neurons that regulate your mood. As a result, each time you feel a little depressed or down, think about how many hours you've slept. You might discover that it's not your life that's going wrong, but that you're not sleeping correctly. Lack of concentration. Believe it or not, sleeping directly interferes with your thoughts and learning. Because of this, one of the consequences of not sleeping enough is damage to these cognitive processes. When you haven't slept for at least 7 hours, your attention, alertness, reasoning, and the way you solve problems are severely affected. This makes the learning process almost non-functional. Also, your sleep cycles have a very important role in strengthening memories in your mind. So, if you don't rest for enough hours, you won't be able to remember what you've learned. Problems with obesity and blood pressure. Melatonin regulates the hormones that make you feel hunger or fullness. When you sleep less, your levels of ghrelin increase and your levels of leptin decrease. This causes the perfect scene for weight gain and obesity. Also, people who don't sleep correctly are less likely to exercise because they're too tired. These people are also more likely to eat food that are high in saturated fats and sugar. If those reasons don't seem like bad enough consequences for not getting enough rest, there's another. Your heart health also gets weaker. Only sleeping 5 to 2 hours per night increases your blood pressure. Sleep controls your stress hormones. At the same time, they regulate and ensure healthy blood pressure. Immune system problems. When you sleep, your immune system produces a productive cytokines, antibodies, and cells that fight infections. This is necessary for fighting foreign substances like bacteria and viruses. One of the consequences of not sleeping enough is that your immune system doesn't have the opportunity to recuperate its strength and vitality. If you don't rest enough, it's likely that your body won't be able to defend itself against infections. As a result, you get sick more often. In the long run, depriving yourself of rest increases your risk of developing chronic disease. These include things like diabetes and cardiovascular diseases. If you're one of the people who don't get enough rest, maybe you've identified with some of these consequences. If you're fighting with some of these problems, change your habits. You'll definitely feel the difference.